Okay, so today we're going to talk about privacy and hacking concerns with you, Dr. Evans. What do you think consumers would be surprised to learn about privacy issues?
I think they'd be surprised, unless they've been reading the newspaper a lot, to learn how vulnerable they really are and how cookies that are placed on their computer when they go online not only track them but can embed in their computer, that they enter information in a way that's not secure. They don't pay attention to the top of the website where the URL is, so that in order to be safe they need to be typing in HTTPS. It has to show an S because that means it's secure. There are a lot of times when companies ask for personal information without that S, and it means it's going out throughout the internet. So there are a lot of occasions when information is being gathered and there are being cookies and viruses that are placed on people's computers that they're not really aware of and don't pay enough attention to. Every reputable firm that's online has a privacy policy. The problem is they tend to be, 12 pages long and we don't read them, and it describes the types of information that they're collecting. For example, if we were at Amazon, Amazon would be collecting information about us that they hold on to, which would be our name, address, our purchase history, our credit card information. But Amazon also has third parties that sell at Amazon. And what Amazon claims is that they only give those companies enough information to process the order, which would be the address and the phone number, and that is not supposed to be something that company holds on to. Consumers have to be really careful. We're our own best friend or worst enemy. So if we go to a company site and they're asking whether we're married, they're asking how much our income is, they're asking if we have children, they're asking about our pets or any other kinds of personal information, we really should run away from that site, because it's irrelevant information that the company is then storing about us that they're either selling to somebody else, or that there's a cookie that's tracking every single thing we do, and they're getting paid because we're male or female or of a certain age, and they get paid every time we go and do a certain behavior. So I think companies need to be responsible in terms of what they ask for, but consumers need to protect themselves in terms of not giving this whole fountain of information.
Now, it seems like in today's world, so much customer behavior is tracked through research and metrics and that sort of thing. As a small business owner, what's reasonable to ask for?
If you were a small apparel shop that also had business online, it would be fair to ask people for their style preferences. It would be fair to ask people for their size, the product categories that they're most interested in. It's not reasonable to ask what their income is, or necessarily to ask what their home address is in a way that gets filed in their computer permanently when you only want that done each time you place an order. It should be information that's collected that's only relevant for the purchase. And companies do abuse it. They ask people for tons of things. Level of education, for example. Why does a company need to know that?
They would argue that that kind of information helps them target what kinds of products and services that they would want to potentially sell.
This is why I am happily acting as an academic who can be more objective. Even though I'm a professional marketer and I write and I consult, I also think that I have a much more objective view, and I think there are a lot of things that marketers do in order to increase their level of business that we could kind of back off a little bit on in terms of the way that we track people and the information that we get. That there are so many ways that we're being tracked and watched, that one of the ways that we can be protected is by having less information asked of us. If there's less information stored, there's less information that's important that gets hacked into.